Hello everyone, this is the BMW iX3 and I'm gonna do a range test at 110 kilometers an hour now, because there are countries where you can drive 130 and you can also use this as a mix between country road and highway. I'm only charging to 50% and then I'm gonna only drive 2 hours, because this car at 110 can surely go 700 kilometers. That's a bit too long for me. But I saw in my 130 range test, where I drove from 100% down to 9%, that the state of charge is very linear, so it shouldn't be any problem. If we only use 20%, we still have a very good estimate what the range is. Right now it's very windy, there's a storm coming and rain and everything, so we might have a bit of higher consumption. We have a 108 kWh battery, 469 horsepower all-wheel drive. The car has a heat pump and 20-inch summer tires on, 255. We are on our way, and now I'm driving 112 on the speedometer, since the speedometer is 2 kilometers an hour off. We started with 50%, and since we're driving under 130, I can use Assistant Driving Pro, where I do not have to touch the steering wheel, and then when it tells me, hey, you can overtake or go to the right, I can just look in the mirrors and it will do the whole lane change itself. I reset my trip. I'm in normal mode, because before I tried comfort mode and it was always so warm. I didn't like it. And I had the AC on 22 degrees. Everything is nice. So cool. This is gonna be awesome. And the trip data, by the way, you see so much information. You see, of course, the time, kilometers, kilowatt hours regenerated with regenerative braking, average consumption, average speed, the kilowatt hours used for this drive, and then in percent, the motor, electronic, climate, and battery conditioning. Awesome. I used 10% of the battery and drove 52 kilometers. Let's go in here to see the details a bit more. My consumption is way less, but so far the range calculated it would be only 520, and I'm sure it's gonna go up even more, but that's always normal for the first few kilometers. I'm gonna drive at least 200 kilometers, so we have a bit of a better result. So I'm trying the Adaptive Pro steering here for a while, and sometimes it turns off. So it tells you to touch the steering wheel. One time even during a lane change, which is not nice, because suddenly you have to get to the steering wheel, and because it's not knowing what to do. And I also had it when it was really rainy and you couldn't see that well. It gave me a message, hey, because of the weather you cannot use it right now. And the main thing that I have with it that's a bit annoying, so when you're getting close to someone to pass, that you go to the left, this is okay, but then when you pass the car and you want to go to the right, it takes so long till it gives you the, hey, how about going to the right? That takes too long. So most of the times I just tap the blinker and then it does it itself, but I had to touch the blinker. That was my first turnaround point. I'm gonna drive this route, which is 70 kilometers more often, almost 3 times, because the rest is a lot of traffic and construction zone, and this is not limited. I can drive my 112 the whole time. Before, by the way, I did something interesting. I drove the highway turnaround where there's never a stop. You just go in a circle 2 times, and I did it with the cruise control. So I let it do whatever it wants to do. It drove with 40, so a bit too slow, but it did it, the whole thing. I mean, I had to touch the steering wheel. It didn't let me do it without touching right now, but still, it did it. Good job. And how is the iX350 on a highway with 110? It's raining a bit, but it's significantly quieter. I noticed this already with the car. Till 120, till 100 it's perfect, till 120 it's still good with loudness, but then 130 is a lot of wind noise. That's a bit sad. Otherwise it's just so nice, but this is so comfortable and nice. I'm in eco mode, by the way. I changed it, but the climate, you cannot change the temperature when you're in eco mode. So, and it was too warm, so I changed the temperature, and then it says you're not in eco mode for climate anymore. Whatever. It's so nice and comfy. I used 20% of the battery, drove 111 kilometers. My consumption is going down now, 18.6, and with 111 kilometers I get to 555 kilometers of range. I expected a bit more, but the consumption doesn't go down that much. So in the beginning 19, now to 18.6, and very stable at the 18.6. So I don't think so that we get that much more range. So it will be under 600 kilometers. Interesting, interesting. Climate is using 6%. I'm in efficient mode and everything. But AC is on. It's 20 degrees out there, very humid. Interesting. You can see when I have the navigation on and steering assist pro, what you see all in this assist view. I see the line for the navigation. In a second there will be a car. Hopefully the car goes to the right lane, so you can see that it shows the distance and everything. There's the car, a Q8. Come on, go over. Come on, there it is. And then you see, it detects it for the distance and everything. Wants me to steer. What is going on? Looks good. And it wants me to go out because I navigated here. But I don't want to. I'm bad. So I tried to use the assist systems to get off the highway, and I navigated to it also. So when you're navigating, you have to get off. It slows you down automatically, and it gives you a thing, hey, you should go to the right. And I did that, and it did it automatically, but it did it a bit fast. So get off the highway. Then the corner was with 40, it's fine. And then there was you had to stop, and it didn't stop in the way that I wanted to, so I had to intervene. But still, that was nice. So I'm going all the way back to the highway crossing, turn around, and then we go back to the charger. That's it. So navigation, I can turn it off, because otherwise it always slows me down every time there's an exit where it wants me to go. I used 30% of the battery, drove 168 kilometers. Just checked, that's 560 kilometers of range. So we go from 490 to 560 when we slow down from 130 to 110. It stopped raining a long time ago. 19 degrees, it's also similar temperature than before. Huh. And do you want to charge for free? Of course you do. And how can you do that? With Andcharge. Andcharge is an app, install it on your phone, and when you are at a charger, you rate the charger. And for this you get kilometers and stars, and these you can exchange for charging credit. Use the link in the description below to get 20 kilometers to start with. I arrived with 13%, drove almost 2 hours, that's my average consumption, and the kilometers. That was a nice drive. It just rained. Maybe half an hour. The rest of the drive was no rain, and then now it's even already dry. I thought it's gonna rain for many hours, but no. So I calculated the range and I get to 559 kilometers, so it didn't change. Still 560 around that. And those 3 Ionitys here, it just says please wait. So maybe they work, but the display doesn't work. But I didn't before I was here, and I thought I only have to charge 1%, so I went over to Fastnet. And there's a Shell recharge here now as well. It's busy. If you want to compare range results, there's a link in the description to a Google spreadsheet where all my range tests and my long distance trip tests are in there. But that's it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.